big fireball. More fire. More fire.
Yes, motherfuckers and cunt lords. This is the United Forever Podcasts, episode 50, half century success. We've made it. We've done 50 episodes. I am cousin Sam Spanner, and I'm with my legendary cousin.
Cousin Adam, how are you, mate?
Adam Shagham. I believe there are family members in the background, so you're biting your tongue tonight.
So there might,
But
there
frequent
might well
listeners,
yeah.
frequent listeners will definitely know that you are the one and only Adam Shagham, mate. So
That's correct.
fucking hell. So first and foremost, mate, how you doing?
Yes, mate. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I'm a little bit cream crackered at the moment, but I think
Yeah.
you know, we'll touch on that later on as to you know, health
As to
check
why
and
with
stuff.
the oh right, yeah. No, fair bet.
Yeah.
And obviously
So,
you sent
yeah.
me a fucking gruesome photo the other day. So
Yes,
go on then,
mate.
tell us, what was it all about?
Do you want the truth, or do you want the version of what I'm telling people happened?
I don't know, just give us a summary of both if you want.
Okay, what I'm telling people has happened is that I had a blister on my foot, and I didn't realise that my foot had been hurting, and it just miraculously popped, and then the skin flapped everywhere.
Mate, guess in the photo, you've got like fucking 3rd-degree burns on the sole of your foot. The whole of the fucking skin is peeled off, like your fucking nipple on that holiday when you got sunburn.
This is what, right. That statement now brings me into what actually happened. Yeah, I had a blister on my foot, and it hurt so much that I decided to vigorously rub my foot on the carpet, and I ended up getting carpet burns, and I burnt the skin off.
So, oh mate, that is nasty. It's like the time when we sort of talked about this in one of our banter podcasts when you had serious scrote rot and you thought it'd be socially acceptable to get Velcro, what was it, from your sports bag and fucking exfoliate your ball skin with that. Oh.
But yeah.
By the way, listeners, we're two fucking immature 35-year-olds, and you're all welcome to sort of be here if you are immature and if your inner child is just fucking rattling its head off side to side and is buzzing on fucking weird shit, mate. So
yeah, no, because
that is an achievement, mate.
Why I did what I did, because I went to walk down the stairs, and I must have caught my foot on the top step as I went round, and it like scratched the bottom of my foot with a carpet, and I was like, "Oh, that sensation feels nice. That's relieving some pain." So I literally stood there for the next 5 minutes, rubbing away, and ended up creating an even worse blister than I had.
Fuck me, mate. Oh dear, as long as you didn't end up in fucking A&E with that foot. Oh, nasty.
Well, yeah, that'd have been fun.
So,
that'd have been fun.
Dear. And as we are like absolute fucking, what's the word, fanatics about the paddock, mate. Obviously, frequent listeners of the paddock will see that, you know, they're trying to go on to some kind of diet and obviously improve their day-to-day health as it is. We know that J. Motty's a recovering alcoholic, and he's managed to be not teetotal, but Chepsy Perry Max total for quite a few years now, which is an achievement. And
definitely.
I definitely know that Baggers and Howson have managed to shed a little bit of weight. And you yourself, I think you've been inspired. And what have you gone on? Is it the Cato one, mate?
Yeah, the keto. I've gone back to that because I did that about 4 years ago,
That's right.
and shifted a load. And
Yeah,
I
you
started
did.
about a
Wow,
month
you
ago.
must have shifted a good. Okay.
Yeah, no, the first run I ended up shifting 30 kilos.
Fucking hell, that's brilliant, mate.
So yeah, so basically, about a month ago, I've started up again.
Okay.
Which is good. But obviously,
Definitely.
you eat a lot of protein, and basically with that, you end up getting a very explosive ass. Which has
Mate,
happened
so
many times.
yeah. So have you had the shakes yet, like you did last time, or are you sort of stable this time round?
I kind of. I think that was, the other week when I thought I had corona, and
Yeah.
ended up. I think that was part and parcel. But what I have noticed is
Okay.
that I get tired rather fast, and I think what that is my body's processing the fat, and basically,
Yeah.
obviously, with fat, antidepressants, the fat acts as a magnet to antidepressants, and because I'm on antidepressants, um,
Okay.
they get stuck to the fat. So my body's processing the fat, which means that it's processing high concentrated doses of um, antidepressants, and I think that's why I'll get tired. But this happened last time,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and then after about a
Okay.
week, 10 days, it kind of wears off. So I'm about 5 days into that
And then you're
feeling
buzzing
now.
and you're
So
dancing to happy hardcore, mate.
definitely. So I've got about another 5 6 days of feeling a bit lethargic, but that's only due to the body
Yeah.
processing bits and pieces. But yeah.
Yeah. No,
So other
safe, mate. Well,
yeah, exactly. But
we can do the as the paddock do the weekly weather report, or well, it's almost a daily weather report. We can do the
yeah,
the weekly Cato report, and
yeah. See
now and
what
again, if
state
you want a
you're
bit of
at.
horse tranquilizer, a bit of cat, you can do that as well. So fucking brilliant, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
So
So
I've got I was saying, I
yep,
was speaking to old Santa Notch last night, and I did apologise for not doing the show earlier. But basically, being in the old teaching business and stuff, we've been up to our
yeah,
eyeballs doing, getting the end of term marks together and stuff. But we're on holiday next week, which is going to be brilliant. So,
yep,
and obviously we had the fucking FA Cup, the fuck up hangover to get over a little bit. But I think we've
yep.
moved on from that. And yeah,
Um,
so
I'm,
basically,
I'm still there, mate.
oh fucking
I'm
hell,
still
mate.
fucking raging,
Uh,
mate. I'm still raging, honestly. I,
open,
I,
open, open a can of coconut milk and down it.
yeah, full fat double cream. Let's go for it.
Oh, brilliant, mate. So, obviously, in true tradition, I like to give our listeners and mates a good old shout out. So, um, we are pals with John from United Way, who is a very good friend from Stretford Paddock. And if you want to check
Yep,
out his channel, it's called the United Way. And basically, people send him their predicted lineup videos through Twitter and stuff. And he's also just a few hours ago released another interesting video, which I've watched, which is basically about a summer transfer overhaul. So he's sort of looking at the deadwood we've got, seeing how much he predicts we could get for each player, and ideally what our transfer targets would cost, and seeing if we can balance the book. So, mate, the guy's mint. He was on
yep,
Howson's Brew a few weeks back, and he
yep.
also gets involved with the paddock match day videos as well. So that's great. And also,
Quality.
if you like James Young from the paddock, he does a lot of sort of the match day videos and stuff. He's been signed by Scotty and Motty. So he's doing more videos with them. So that's really interesting. The guy's a fucking legend. And he's very sort of knowledgeable about football and stuff. And his grandparents live down the road from me, which is pretty cool. So in this part of the world, in sunny Spain. So sweet. Lovely. And we got some lovely feedback for our last episode we did, which was fucking brutal as anything. That was the one we did about our West Ham victory and doing loads of steak and blowjob puns. So obviously following the tutelage of the paddock legend Joe Smith, we tried to whack in loads of random puns to take the piss out of past and present players of the oppositions we play on a weekly basis. And then, so Jay Parker and Harry Thrower gave us some lovely feedback. We appreciate that. And also Ricky Balboa said we literally destroyed Marlon Harewood on the last episode. And he also pointed out that there is a kind of weird similarity between Marlon Harewood and the Koopa Troopers from the Mario Brothers. So, I can kind of get where he's coming from. And then Tommy Worrell, that fucking Mancunian legend, the one who said drinks are on him ages ago, when we go up to Manchester, mate, that'd be fucking brilliant. We go up to Withenshaw, to his local when the pubs are open again. He goes, he's come up with a few of these steak and blowjob puns for some old West Ham players. So we've got a bloke, brace yourself, right? Get your asthma pump and Ventolin ready. We've got a player called Gokhan Torre. I don't know, I've just butchered his name, but basically he said Gokhan Torre's banjo chord. So and we got there was a Norwegian called Harvard Nordveit. He came up with hard on Nordveit. And
brilliant.
And another absolute legend from the paddock community, the one and only Santa Notch. Brace yourselves, I'm just going to have a swig of my beer. He come up with some brilliant puns. So we got for Ray Stewart, we say Trey Desmond's entrance, Stewart. And for Scott Parker, he said Scott Pork her.
Touche.
And then for Neil Oral. And for Julian Diggs, he said Jizzly Dig Cheese. And mate, last night we were just pissing about so much because he speaks Italian and I've got really basic level Italian, and obviously I speak Spanish and Portuguese and a bit of French and stuff. So we were just randomly trying to translate footballers' names into English or from English into Spanish and Italian. And we were having a right old laugh. So he said initially, what about Jules Churches? And I was thinking, sorry, Santa, forgive me, but I do have a very low IQ. And then he translated that to Julio Iglesias, the old singer. So I thought that was fucking wicked. And then obviously it got me good. And then we kept on going for stuff. And he was like, what about Emmanuel Pilgrim? Now that would be Manuel Pellegrini, which was pretty clever. And then we've got John Kill, Juan Mata. And I had to go at a couple of Italian ones. And these are actual paddock ones, right? So we've got Stefano Come Figlio, which would be Stephen Howson. And then we've got Andrea Bravo, which would be Andy Tate. So that was got a chuckle. Oh, mate, you know, as Grandad says, you know you're old when you stop laughing. So, you know, that's fucking brilliant.
Exactly.
Santa Notch
Definitely,
also made me chuckle as well the other day because, mate, he did this brilliant paddock match day video, right, with his
Yeah.
apparent score predictions, and he was wearing this Pirlo t-shirt, and it says,
Right.
"No Pirlo, no party," which was funny. And he goes, oh, then he realised afterwards that he actually forgot to give a score prediction in the video, which was brilliant. Oh mate, I've got to say, I am literally a fan of Santa Notch. The bloke is a fucking legend. He's very funny, very
Yeah.
creative, and I wish
Definitely.
we did theatre and drama together back in the day at school. We would have had a fucking laugh and
Yeah.
a half.
I'll bet. Definitely.
And then the one and only, we got the one and only, our favourite Texan, Boomhauer, mate. He gave us some funny feedback as well. And he said,
right.
how we were talking about Grandad and stuff, you know, how you took him down to Tesco's to the supermarket and he went straight for the cake aisle and stuff. And he happened to mention that he's living with his, I think he said 84-year-old father-in-law. And he said that they let him out for the first time in months the other day. And he said he was like a 15-year-old in Amsterdam. You've never seen a person walk or move that fast. So, oh, mate, absolutely fucking brilliant.
Brilliant.
And he put forward an interesting question. So, you know, we love a good little debate and stuff. So if any of the listeners want to ask us any questions to hear our fan opinion and whatnot, or just listen to two twits talking about shit, that's us, mate. So he says, what about Hendo and Haaland versus Double DG and Tony Marshall? So let's break it down.
Right.
Goalkeepers, who do you prefer, mate? Big Dave
Hendo.
or Hand of God? Totally.
Hendo.
No debate.
Yep.
I think Davy Boy's had his time and it's time to pack his bags and start a new life. What about Haaland, mate, versus Tony Marshall?
No-brainer, Haaland. I'd have Haaland any day of the week.
I think we need a proper number 9 and Tony.
Yep.
I'm a fan of Tony, but I'm sorry. I think that we need a number 9, a target man. Dan James lately has been whipping some good balls. And I think, mate, that, you know, we need to just get someone on the end of them that's got better spatial awareness. And he's worked under the tutelage of the legend Solskjaer, that is. And I think that he will only continue to improve under Ollie. So that's that, mate.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. I think you're right there.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't know if we'll be able to get Haaland. I know there's a lot of big teams circling around his head and stuff, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But banter time, mate. Banter time. So let's try and cheer ourselves up a little bit. So we played Leicester at the weekend. We lost 3-1. But I did say, let's come up with some cheesy puns to take the piss out of present and past Leicester players. So we call this ping punage, mate.
Right.
So because you're 5 days older than me.
Yeah. I need to be straight up with you. I was so pissed off with the game that I haven't done any because I was that fucked off with the game. Because
mate.
I'm still raging.
Okay.
I'm still raging, mate. But one thing I want to say.
Okay. Yes, mate.
I watched the paddock piss take, the Premier piss take, and I found that quite funny.
Yes,
now,
mate.
The bit about 5 things that are more Brazilian than Fred, and they missed two major. They missed 2 major things, right? So this is going to be my offering to the punage, but it's not actually puns, right? So you're going to have to bear with me, right? The first one that they missed out on, they gave us Joey Barton trying to speaking with a French accent, which was pure hilarity. But they missed out on David Moyes' infamous interview when he took over at Real Sociedad, trying to speak Spanish, trying
Oh
to count
yeah.
in Spanish, right? So they missed out on that. So that's more Brazilian than Fred. And the second thing
Okay.
that they missed out on was the seagull that shat in Ashley Young's mouth. That's more Brazilian than Fred.
Totally, mate. Oh, mate. Thinking about that,
See?
something that also is more Brazilian than Fred was when Paul Scholes literally went in for this wild slide tackle. He forgot to wear wide fronts, and he was wearing boxer shorts, and his whole cock came out, and his ginger pubes were on display. Now that's more Brazilian than Fred. Oh, fucking hell. So I came up with some cheese puns, mate. So, as
Right,
always,
go
we
for it,
invite
go
the
for it.
listeners and any immature, weird fuckers like us to just express themselves in the comments. So, here we go. Instead
Yes.
of N'Golo Kante, I'm going to have a swig of beer.
Yeah.
We got Gorgonzolo Kante. And then, and then for the stadium, we got
Yep.
Walker's Cheese and Onion Crisps Stadium. Then, and then we've got actually bless Nan's soul, mate. That was her favourite flavour of crisps, wasn't it? Cheese and onion. Bless her soul. Then we got for Emil Heskey. Not too cheesy, but you can definitely get some cheese in it. Is a meal deal Heskey. Mate, you'll have a good old meal deal. Cherry Pepsi Max. Get a club sandwich. Maybe a sausage roll and a packet of crisps. Then, mate, there was I'm going to ask you, right? So, whose brother used to play down at Cole United when we were kids? And he played.
You want to know the player?
Sorry, the older brother
who played for Leicester.
Hold on, I'm not wording this right. Yeah, so
you want
there
to
was
know
a
the
player
brother
for
from
Leicester and his younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we in Cole United when we were kids, when we used to go to the cattle shed of the stadium, which is no longer around because we really enjoyed going to proper grassroots football matches as kids. So tell me, matey, who was it? So we had. I'll give you his first name, Kem. All right.
Yeah. So Cole United had Kem, is it?
That's the one. And then the older brother,
and then
Leicester was.
Motty.
What was it? Yes, mate. So Leicester had Muzzy, is it? So instead of Muzzy, is it? I called him Cheesy, is it? And then for Captain Morgan, I loved the Captain Morgan pun we did the other day. You know, the rum one. But this one's a cheesy one. So instead of Wes Morgan, we've got Wesley Dale Morgan. So I've been living away from the UK for too many years now, but please correct me. Is Wensleydale the sort of crumbly cheese?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. It's crumbly and creamy, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so for those that haven't been circumcised, if you don't wash your bits and bobs,
someone called Keith,
you'll find. Mate, I think that was Stan Hughes made a comment about that in the last episode. Oh, brilliant. So anyway, we got, instead of Peter Shilton, Peter Stilton.
Classic, yes.
And, yes. And then...
he lives around... He actually lives around the corner from us. Shilton. He lives in Mersey.
Does he?
Yeah.
You're having a laugh, mate. Fucking hell.
Nah.
Mersey Island.
Nah. Yeah, mate. He's
Brilliant.
got a place up
Fucking
on
hell.
Mersey.
Brilliant. So when
Yeah.
Santa Notch hopefully moves across to the Costa del Kent, you'll be able to wave or get Peter Shorten to give him a wave all the way from Mersey Island. So,
You better see him with his big
oh
hands.
mate, talking about Keith. Yes, mate, his big hands and his cheese. Anyway, sorry, that just wasn't funny. We were talking about Keith, right?
Yes.
So the bloke who performs circumcisions with his teeth, it wasn't for leisure nor sexual pleasure, it was to get to the cheese underneath. We spoke about him last episode. So there was a player called Keith for Leicester called Keith Weller. So I've called him
Right.
Keith Gets the Cheese Underneath Weller. Oh gosh!
Brilliant.
And there was a player called Jack Brown. So
Yep.
I just had to call him Jack Cheese Brown because
Right.
love a bit of Jack cheese on chips, mate.
Yes.
And you wouldn't believe this, right? There was a player called Albert Cheeseborough, right? An actual player called
Right.
Cheeseborough. So I've changed his name to Albert Cheeseboard. So
Yes. Excellent. Oh dear.
Found another bloke in the history books. His name was Mike Stringfellow. So I've called him Mike Cheese Stringfellow.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh god.
Oh dear.
Okay. And then we got Richie Wellens, who actually came from our academy. And I think he's managing Salford City right now. Is that right?
He was up until 24 hours ago, then he got sacked.
You're having a laugh. Fucking hell. Mate,
No.
I reckon Nicky Butt, right? He's left his post, all right, United. I've got a funny feeling Nicky Butt might be taking the reins at Salford City now.
Oh, what? So Nicky Butt is no longer with United?
No, he left a few hours ago.
Oh, right.
So, yes, mate. So, anyway, Richie Wellens. I've called him Richie Mozzarellans. And I've got the very last one. Well, there was this player, I think it was Scottish, Paul Dickov.
Yeah.
I've said, oh, mate.
Paul, your Dickov.
Get ready for a bit of Cartman. Paul, get my dick cheese F. So,
brilliant. Yes.
Oh, fucking hell. Mate, I had this girl, right? This student was giving me a load of back chat today. And I just randomly came out with, you have to respect my authority. I literally just didn't have the energy or desire to fucking be professional. So I was like, Cartman voice, here we go. Fucking hell, mate. Okay. So we've been going 50 episodes strong. And one of the main motives of doing these stupid bantercasts is to just stay in contact. I haven't been home for 15 months, no flights to the UK. You can't get your ass over here. And obviously to stay in touch and, so yes, mate. Any special highlights or moments you want to sort of talk about that we've experienced over these 49 episodes?
Well, this is it. I think looking back, favourite episodes that we've done.
Over my shoulder. Sorry.
Some of the family episodes have been quite good. Like the one about your brother was freaking hilarious. Honestly, I thought I was going to die.
Where he got covered in fucking fairy liquid. Oh, mate.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a good one. Obviously, the David R special as well. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And
Oh, dear mate,
the
that is an Undertaker who's fucking squeamish as
yes,
anything, and God knows how he can collect the dead
definitely,
and embalm them.
yeah, brilliant. And also the episode about my dad. Get my briefcase.
Oh, that was so fun. Why?
It makes me look more
Because.
important.
So basically, if anyone's like, what the fuck are we on about? Your dad, head on collision with this car ends up in a ditch, and your dad asks for his briefcase. So when he gets out of the car, he thinks he looks more important.
Yuppie.
Fucking get your priorities right in life. Forget about the family members in the car. Number one thought, briefcase.
Briefcase wanker. Yeah.
Mate, I was just about to say that. Your dad probably was like Thing Me from the In-Betweeners. Fucking briefcase.
But yeah.
Oh, mate.
and also I obviously when United signed a director of football last week or the week before, whenever it was, I listened back to our
That's right.
special on director of football, and that was a very long episode, but it was bang on the money, mate. Pretty much everything that we said is sort of what kind of
Yes, mate.
beefy. It's sort of kind of happening now, if that makes any sense.
Totally.
So it's quite good to see.
Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, obviously, we're still waiting to see what Howson's got to say, because he did say he was going to come up with some content to analyse the appointments and whatnot. But then I was listening to David Pritt on the paddock the other day, and he did say that he had the opportunity to meet Mr. Murtaugh and stuff, and he did help him get into some of the youth matches in the past. So he said he's a nice bloke. So we've got some sort of first-hand reference of meeting the bloke. So that's good to know. And I don't know. We just when we've lost matches, I think, mate, one of the best things about doing these bantercasts is, when we've lost matches and we've gone through a period of shitness, I think this just sort of gives us puts a smile on our faces and makes us belch and fart and stuff, which is brilliant.
Definitely.
So, but also like talking about players in a funny ways being a good laugh and whatnot, and sort of lightly taking the piss out of our own players from time to time with Pogba and his wank elbow and anything like that. We've had a lot of fun and we've made some nice acquaintances, and I'm just hoping after the Rona and stuff, we'll be able to meet some of our mates and mates that we've met through YouTube, and hopefully go to a Paddock FC match with them, which would be brilliant, mate.
Yeah.
So
definitely
could be done on a budget. We could put some sleeping bags in your big van, mate, and and fucking stink the van out with farts.
Yes, you know it.
Oh dear. No, it's been good, mate. It's like going down to the virtual pub, So yeah, we've got to keep it up, keep it going. So,
of course,
I'm going to say this: a few little football afterthoughts. I don't want to be too negative and too reactionary or anything, but afterthoughts about the Milan match, getting through to the semis of the Cup Winners' Cup. What do you think, mate?
Yep. All in all, the game wasn't overly bad. If I'm honest, there were bits and pieces here and there, and the fact that we managed to keep Zlatan quiet, which was quite nice. When he
Beautiful
come on,
save by Hand of God.
yes, exactly. And I think obviously Rashford having to come off at half time was a bit disappointing.
He's battered,
but
the poor kid.
yeah,
He's absolutely
he's
fucking
ruined them.
posted, mate.
And if we're honest, I think Bruno's the same, mate. He's paced, literally fucked.
Yeah, he is. His pass success rate was
And
woeful. He had a stinker of a match,
yeah,
really, but he still somehow
yeah,
manages to contribute to the goodness. So I
yes,
completely, right, sort of merging onto the Leicester stuff. I do understand that people are going to say, "Oh, you want to suck Ollie's dick and stuff." It's not about the dick cheese,
yeah,
mate. It's literally that Leicester had a whole
yeah,
week's rest. Well, not a whole week's, but many more days rest than we did. We were running low, very
yeah,
low on steam, and we've got players that have been running to the ground. I understand that
yeah,
there's also a lot of social pressure and upstairs political pressure within the school, within the team, or club, from
yeah,
the board above, expecting us to use some
yeah,
of the signings, such as Van der Beek, Baker Cake,
yeah.
Bacon Sarnie,
Now,
and
I'm glad
obviously
you touched
Pogs as well.
on him. I
Yeah,
I honestly can't understand exactly what's going on there, because the boy looked like. Well, I'll tell you what it looked like. It was like putting
yeah,
a 16-year-old in
yeah.
a men's team. That's what it was like
Okay.
on
Did you say
Sunday. It,
a men's team or a
yeah,
minge team? Did you say?
men's team. Um, but
Okay.
yeah, no, he was just like he just looked lost. Now I know he hasn't had a lot of game
Yeah,
time, and I understand that. But if you are, or not maybe him, but his agent, shall we say, is complaining about game time, fucking be ready when you
yeah,
get called, mate. When you get the nod, you got to be ready, son. You know what I mean? You can't just be sitting there
yeah.
and
Totally.
then. And so that was disappointing to see. Um,
Yeah.
he just seemed very lost, uh,
Do you know
which
what?
was
He's also just got
frustrating as
back
fuck.
from injury as well. So
Yeah,
he's got
so
ring
there is
rust.
that.
He's got ring sting.
Yeah,
And sorry. And I just think that he's going to need time to get back fully fit. And I actually
yeah,
don't like him playing as an advanced sort of number 10. I like it when he's playing
no,
next to McSauce. And McSauce has
yeah,
been fucking belted in the fan base as well. I love McSauce. He's my
yeah,
favourite player. And I look at him with rose
yeah.
tinted glasses. And I think
I,
that this
I think
kid
that's
doesn't get
unfair.
enough praise.
Unfair some of the criticism he got on Sunday, because all right, he was only on for half
Yeah,
an hour, but he did.
yeah.
There wasn't anything that he did that, in my eyes, warranted the abuse. And one thing I want to quickly touch on as we're talking
He
about
did give
abuse,
away
right?
the foul, didn't he? Yeah.
He did, but right now, talking of abuse now, right? Yeah, Fred played shit, but he doesn't deserve to be
Yeah.
racially abused, right? I'll touch
No,
on
not
Fred
at
in a
all, mate.
minute, because I was just yeah, Fred was on another planet Sunday. But going back to
Yeah.
Scotty, you know, and Van der Beek. Yeah, Van der Beek needs to be a number 6, doesn't he? Let's be honest, he needs to be a 6
Yeah.
or
Or
even a
just a central midfielder.
8.
I like it.
Yeah,
Him and McSauce would be interesting together. Just let them both be box to box. Have Bruno in front of them, and
yeah,
just let them play their stuff. I mean, I'm going to
yeah,
say some crazy stats now. Okay, right. Listen to this.
yeah,
All right, I know McSauce gave away the foul and stuff, and he fucked up a header on the back post and stuff like that. All right, we don't.
yeah,
I don't want to say he cost us 3 points. No, he didn't. All right, we were losing anyway. But
yeah,
Pogba, right? The fan base gets too reactionary, and
yeah,
he's too injury prone. And I know
yeah,
he can plays beautiful street football from time to time and scores some sick goals.
Yep.
But do you want to know something? He's got
Go for it.
less goal contributions in the last 2 seasons than what Scotty Too Hotty has got just this season. And if you want to stick what he got last season on top, he's got double. Right?
Yep, exactly.
So
this is it.
I think Scotty has cost us 0, nothing.
Yep.
Pogba's cost us a fucking arm and a leg, and he's got all of this fucking weird media shit going on. He's got his brother talking shit. He's got Raiola giving us fucking ringmaster Springsteen. And I think that now is the time to capitalise on him, because he's only going to go downhill with his injuries, because he's just so injury prone, and he can't get more than about 5 or 6 matches played continuously without what's the word? Without getting injured again, or just getting another wank elbow injury.
I think I just talking about Hendo quickly. Like, maybe one of the goals was his fault on Sunday, and unfortunately, I think what's going to happen is Ollie's going to bend over and take the pressure and put De Gea between the sticks again next game, which is
it's probably going to happen. There's all these fucking there's so much politics behind the scenes that we don't know about, and all these sort of commitments you've got to fulfill and stuff. So fucking bullshit, mate. We've hit the 41-minute mark, so give me some final thoughts, all right? If you want to. So we'll try and wrap things up.
Okay. Well, on Sunday, the words I'm going to use is disorganised, no composure, and just general shitness. And
okay,
as I said earlier on in this recording, I'm still fuming, mate. And for me to be what we now Wednesday, so that's 4 days, nearly 5 days past, and I'm still fuming as if I was the manager that lost. Do you know what I mean? You could see Ollie was pissed off. But I think, I know we're in the middle of we're not in the middle now. We're sort of on the semi-end of a rebuild. There's still certain areas that need rebuilding. But unfortunately, I
how
think,
big is a rebuild?
Well, this is it.
15 signings, 30 signings like Guardiola? Or achieving just 10 signings?
I would say between 15 and 20 good signings, but we do have a good academy, which we've got to take into account. Now, honestly, out of the team that was on paper, including substitutes on Sunday, I even put it on a super chat on the paddock, basically we've got to rip up our transfer wish list, rip it up and start again, mate, because but the problem is, how much more money are they going to give him for a start? But we need to get rid. I know we've said it when we first started these podcasts, but Matic has got to go.
Yes, mate.
He's done the job, but he's got to go. Unfortunately, I can't see any light at the end of the tunnel, and Van der Beek is going to have to go. Pogba has got to go. I would even. You're probably going to disagree with me on this. Martial needs to go.
No, I think now's the time. He's got age is favourable, and we'll be able to get some dollars for him.
Lindelof needs to go, even though he has played semi decent the last few games. He just needs to go. There's just so what's that? That's Lindelof, Matic, Fred needs to go. That's 3. Van der Beek, Pogs, Martial. That's 6 players. And that's 6 players in the starting team that I think aren't good enough for United anymore. They're not. so pissed off with some of those players. Like, I don't know what was going on with Fred, but I know other channels have
I just think,
ripped him apart and stuff.
yeah. Oh, totally. Right. I'm going to say this, and I know people are going to think that I've been smoking crack and stuff, but I don't want to sell Fred. I still like Fred, and I think he's a very energetic player, but he just needs to be in a deeper role, and he's been overplayed and he's all shagged out. So I think that partly, his error is cost us the goal. But how many times last season did Pogba give the ball away in our half? And errors led to goal. He didn't get that same level of abuse as Fred has. No. I know Fred's shooting is absolutely wank, but I still think the good outweighs the bad. And I think Victor has been playing a lot better with Hendo behind him. And I still think that he's still got the prime ahead of him. And Ronaldo Brown on the paddock says the best ability is availability. So he's more available than the caretaker, Eric Bailly. And I've got a funny feeling, sadly, Eric Bailly is going to be sold. He's got a year left on his contract, trying to get a bit of money for him.
I think so.
And then maybe get another centre-back. I mean, and then Pogba, again, availability. He's not very available. He can go. And try and get some money for him.
Definitely.
Maybe Tony Marshall has to go. But if the Glazers really, really favour Tony Marshall, it's going to be difficult to get him out. But as I said, I do like Marshall as well. But Matic, he's too old and he was too static. And he's been all right, but he's just a shadow of his former self. And I'd love to see Jimmy Garner be promoted. And I know David Pritt would definitely back me up on this.
Yeah, I agree. But quickly touching on Fred again, I would understand. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I would 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
If we'd only paid 25 million for him, but how much did we pay for him? A lot of money.
50 million.
50 million, 52 million with add-ons.
Yeah, but it was when we were trying to try to show the Man City board we were superior to them. But I still think Fred has been a bloody good player in some proper battling matches, like playing against City and stuff. I mean, thanks to Fred, we have managed to sort of get a hat-trick of wins over Guardiola and stuff. So I think he's 28, but I still think we can get a good 3 more seasons out of him, but he doesn't need to play as much. And I'd like to see Van der Beek be given more of a central midfield role, and I think he'd do well next to McSauce. So, but it kind of depends on whether Matic is going to go and if Pogs is going to go, but we're going to really, truly be able to evaluate the new board or sort of director of football, Doff, after this next transfer window. So interesting times ahead, mate. And if we wrap things up, give me your closing words.
Yeah, one quick last question. Now, if we lose the semi-final of the
Have you ever seen a man eat his own face? Sorry.
Then you haven't seen everything.
Exactly.
If we lose the semi-final of Europa League, right, and we finish, and we finish in, I don't know, in the league, say 4th, is that Ollie's job gone?
Yep. Nah, definitely not.
No?
I think he deserves to at least... Is that your Ford Capri, mate?
Mate, that's my Cato. Oh, fucking vegetables.
Cato farts. Mate, fucking firing Brussels sprout fast and a trombone.
So
fucking bugle call. I can smell that at 2,000 miles down here in Spain. I don't even know what we're talking about. Fucking hell.
Anyway, well,
okay.
I think, over and out from me, mate. I think, it's all good.
Sweet. Yes, and I'm hoping next week we'll be able to do just a random banter episode talking about random shit. All right, so I'll be speaking to you fucking, what do I say? Speak to you later, you chronic masturbators. Oh, fucking hell. Sick burp.